Hey, baddie. Wait, before we get into it, I wanted to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this video and give you a little bit of key information because you guys know I'm really big on mental health. BetterHelp is an online service that helps match you with your own licensed professional therapist. Unlike traditional counseling, you can log into your account at any time and message your counselor and get very timely responses, as well as schedule weekly video and phone sessions. BetterHelp actually accepts clients worldwide, and they have a wide range of expertise that you may not be able to find in your area. You know, baddies, from my personal experience, I realize when things are really weighing heavy on me, it's good to talk to somebody. So if you need somebody to talk to, this is the perfect place to go. And it's really easy to sign up. They're just gonna ask you questions about your age, your gender, and what problems you might be experiencing. Honestly, BetterHelp is very easy to use. You can change counselors if you need to, and it's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. If you guys are interested in trying BetterHelp, my subscribers can actually get a 10% discount off of your first month. So head over to betterhelp.com/Natalie Odell, and that's better HELP, and join the millions of other people taking control of their mental health. Okay, baddies. So, Lord, I think today might be the most interesting and unique Hey Nat, let's chat video yet. We are actually going to go over more questions than usual, but let me tell you, all right, you're gonna be on the edge of your seats because I can't believe some people are going through these things. All right, so we're going to help them through it. We're going to discuss it. I'm gonna give the best advice I can give because you already know Hey Nat, Let's Chat is a series where I give my unbiased, unsolicited advice to help my baddies live their best life. Okay, baddies, let's get into the first question.
Hey Nat, let's chat.
Hey, girl.
First of all, I just want to say that I love you and Easy's relationship, and watching you all has allowed me to kind of realize that I may have to officially come out to my family. I know that you're a spiritual person, and I'm also a spiritual person as well, but I just want some tips on how I can stay true to myself despite, you know, the spiritual teachings per se that my family has carried on throughout generations, and how I can continue to stay true to myself and live in my truth despite kind of the only thing that I know.
Wow. Okay, first of all, baddie, I want to applaud you for being vulnerable and actually voicing that out loud, because if you haven't admitted this to your family, it might have been hard to even admit it to me, let alone, you know, asking public advice. Obviously, this is an anonymous question, but yeah, still applauding you, girl. I know that when you're going against the grain, especially of your family or generations and generations of things going the same way or people doing things the same way, it can be very intimidating. It can be very scary, and it's obviously more comfortable to just blend in and not stand out. But honestly, you owe it to yourself to have your own experiences. And honestly, I advise you to take your time with it. For myself, being spiritual, I journaled a lot. I meditated on it a lot. I really sat in my thoughts a lot and, you know, opened myself up for guidance. And the answers that I received was to do exactly what I'm doing, which is follow my heart and have life experiences. You know, that's what life is all about, is to experience and grow. So this could be a part of your growing, and your journey is unique to you. It's not the same as your family's for generations and generations. So, and I also advise you to take your time with it in a way of it. If you're sure 100% that this is what you want, then I would say, you know, once you're confident and you've spent time with yourself, be sure. That's all I'm saying. Be sure before you bring it to them. And since you haven't actually experienced enough, you might not really know 100%. So just be sure and take your time. So let me know how it goes, girl, and good luck. Let me know if you tell your family and all of that. Okay, baddies, let's get into the next question.
Hey Nat, let's chat.
Hi, girl.
So kind of need, you know, some advice on, you know, like mental health, and how do you stay like consistent with journaling and stuff like that? Because I just got your journal, your manifestation destination bundle. And it is so great. I'm so proud of you. But yeah, how do you stay like consistent with journaling? Let me know.
Aw, first of all, thank you so much for the support. And I think that's amazing that you're starting your journal and manifestation journey. You sound like you're young. I'm not 100% sure. So that it's a great time to start, regardless young, older, whatever the case may be. So first of all, I would like to say this, like, nobody's perfect. So do not beat yourself up if you're having a hard time being consistent. I myself have a hard time being consistent, all right? But life has a way of kicking me back into shape, like of saying, get back to doing what you were doing. And I'm a firm believer in, signs and like really paying attention to what's going on in life to receive some type of guidance. And I would say that whenever I'm not being consistent, things start happening. I can tell, whether it be the way that I am emotionally dealing with stuff is not as aligned with the person that I want to be, or it'll be just like weird situations that happen and I don't really know how to explain it more than that, but you just kind of know. Whenever you habitually do something and then you stop doing it, you feel the difference. And I would say you will find that as well. Once you find that consistency, you can start with doing something as simple as setting a daily reminder to do it. Find out what time is best for you to do it, whether that's in the morning, which is my case. Doing it in the morning to start my day is the best time, and that also seems to be the time that I have the most time to dedicate to it. So I like to get it out of the way in the morning, but it might be different for you. It might be a nighttime thing to help you get through the night, or whatever the case may be. So set an alarm and just hold yourself accountable. And like I said, be patient with yourself, because it's not easy to be consistent with anything. And your personal growth is going to be a lifetime journey. So yeah, just get ready for the ride and enjoy all of the ups, all of the downs, all of that. All right, let's hear the tea.
Hey Nat, let's chat. I just wanted some good ideas on what I can do to celebrate my 10-year anniversary with my boyfriend. I'm super excited and I know that he is too, but I've never done anything steamy. I'm not self-confident. Sometimes I'm a little insecure about my body. I am a bigger girl, and so I want to be sexy for him. I just don't know what to do. Like, how do I set the mood? Girl.
First of all, I love your energy. Yes. Okay, girl. So I want to start by saying this. All right. You need to give yourself more credit. All right. So obviously, your husband, your boyfriend of 10 years is with you for a reason. He thinks that you're beautiful. I'm sure that he loves your body. So that alone should make you feel more confident about your special night. Okay. Also, I want to say this, that insecurities are normal. They're natural. It's fine. Like the sooner you realize that, okay, probably more people actually have insecurities than not, it helps them feel easier and you don't beat yourself up about it so much, so that you are actually able to tend to those insecurities. You're actually able to look into the mirror and learn to love what you see. So that's what I have to say about insecurities. Secondly, I would say definitely for the special night, do something within your comfort zone. You don't want to go too far out of your comfort zone and then it's kind of obvious that you feel uncomfortable, but definitely spice it up a little bit. I think I gave this advice to somebody else too at one point, that if you want to spice it up, first of all, look up really cute date ideas and stuff like that on Pinterest. You can go on TikTok. Like, apps like those will give you some really, really good advice. I also do really cute stuff all the time on Easy X Natalie, and Easy does stuff for me as well. So if you are planning to do something sexy, which it sounds like you are, make sure whatever you're wearing, you're comfortable in. There is different type of lingerie. There's more full coverage lingerie. There's bodysuit type lingerie. It doesn't have to be a two-piece situation. I know for me, if I'm feeling a little bloated or whatever the case may be, I like to get like a one-piece lacy lingerie like set. The ones that kind of cut up a little high on the sides, they come off very sexy. I feel like I'm having real girl time with you right now, like telling one of my friends like, ooh girl, wear this. But yeah, I think get creative and just make sure you do something that you are comfortable with enough, you know, and just try to keep in mind the stuff that he likes as well. So girl, I hope that the night goes well and let me know. Okay, let's see what the next baddie has for me.
Hey Nat, let's chat. So I've been really struggling with my kid's father and the relationship that he has with his girlfriend. And I know before you say, oh, you sound like a bitter baby mama, I want to put it out here that my kid's father is dating his cousin, like his blood cousin. And it's starting to really affect our child, and our child is starting to think that that is something that is okay. And I really need some help just with like trying to sit her down and explain to her that that is not something that should ever be done or ever thought about. And I really just need some help. Please help me.
That's tough. That I didn't expect that. And you sound, I hear it in your voice that you need some advice. First of all, I think that it's great that you have that style of parenting where regardless of the age of your daughter, you are starting off with being very open when it comes to communication and explaining things to her. I think that's a beautiful thing, and she's going to grow up understanding a lot of stuff and also avoid making mistakes because you are open with her. The way that I would explain it to her is first off letting her know that it's not okay, that this isn't something that you personally agree with as her mother. And I'm sure she's gonna respect your viewpoints on this. So in order to get her to have a little understanding, I would try to teach compassion. And I would say, look, at the end of the day, I don't agree with what your dad is doing. It's something that personally, yada, 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 all of your points of why you don't agree with it. And I would say, but you have to understand that throughout life, everyone is living their own journeys and are making their own mistakes. And this is your father's journey. And maybe one day he will realize that this is something that he shouldn't have done or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, you know, I just want you to know that this isn't something that's okay, but just have compassion for him and his journey and what he's supposed to learn along his lifetime. That's the best advice that I could give, honestly, because yeah, you don't want your daughter at the end of the day to follow in his footsteps, but you don't want her to hate him or look at him with some type of disgust either, because it's her dad. Honestly, this is tough. It's tough. I would approach that conversation like that. Okay, baddies, let's get into the next question.
Hey Nat, let's chat. So real quick, I need some advice. I'm messing with a man. It's been 4 years. Yes, he's married. Now his wife is pregnant. Should I tell her? I really want to. What do you think I should do?
Girl, you just threw me off with that. You said I'm in a relationship. Yes, he's married. Like, you just really threw that in there, like, whoo, like it was a casual sentence. And I think that, you know, you came to me for honesty. I'm sure you've seen my other videos and you know that I'm gonna really give my baddies the best advice that I can. First of all, I'm not judging you for making the decision that you made to mess with a married man, but I wouldn't agree with it. And I think that that's probably why you're at the point where you're saying, like, what should I do now that not only is he married, but he also is having a child with this woman? I think you also have to ask yourself, why is it that you want to tell her now when you didn't want to tell her while you guys were messing around and he had vows to her? Make sure that it's for the right reasons. Is it because you're jealous? Is it because you're hurt? Was he making promises to you? Like, you gotta evaluate that whole situation, girl. And once you do that evaluation, then I would say, Liz, honey, I don't think it's your place to say anything to the wife. Now, what I want to know, if I'm married to somebody and they're messing around with somebody else and now I'm pregnant, yes, I would want to know, but at the end of the day, it's not your place, it's his place. If I was you and I was in your situation, what I would do, go to him and tell him, look, you need to tell your wife what's going on, and she deserves to know. And I do believe that she deserves to know. I just don't believe she deserves to know from you. But you also can't force him to tell her. I would then remove myself from the situation, because honestly, that can be very toxic. I don't think that that's what the wife deserves. I just don't think it's a good situation all around. I don't think you want to be with a man that would cheat on his wife. I don't think you want to attract that type of karmic energy. Like, girl, get out, run, tell him to tell his baby mom. At the end of the day, we make mistakes in life and stuff, and maybe, hopefully, you won't make this again, because I think that if you put yourself in the shoes of the wife, you wouldn't want anyone to do this to you. Now, at the end of the day, yes, it is not your responsibility to be loyal to the wife. It was his responsibility. So he is the most in the wrong in this situation. Yeah, girl, like I said, tell him to tell his baby mama and get out of the situation and don't do it again. Oh, and another thing, baddie, I would honestly compare this situation to the whole Derek Jackson scandal. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, look, take a quick trip over to the Shade Room and check it out, because it's a mess. But basically, if you were like the whole Derek Jackson situation, where some of the women that he was messing with didn't know about the wife, then I would say probably you should tell her, because he was lying to you, he's lying to her, and he needs to be caught. Okay, but in this situation, it is very tricky, because it's like, at the end of the day, you knew about her and he told you about her. So it's like, leave it to him to tell her. Leave it to him to tell her, and actually strongly suggest that he does. Say, like, look, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be this person anymore. I don't think I deserve this, to be wrapped up in somebody who's married, and I don't think your wife deserves this either. And I think that you should tell her, and and then go your separate ways. Like, it's too toxic. It's too toxic. Run the other way. Okay. All right, baddies, here's the last question. I've been having so much fun with you guys, per usual, drinking my little wine, giving you guys life advice. Make sure you guys are following me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, everything, because that is where I actually announce when my DMs are open for new Hey Nat, Let's Chat submissions. And I really be trying to get to as many questions as possible, but you want to send them as soon as I say my DMs are open, so that I don't miss your question.
Hey Nat, let's chat. Your recent EXN vid on the Truth or Drink has propelled me to talk to my new boo on subjects such as polygamy and +1. Surprisingly, she's not close to the idea. Well, I am not into that at all. Am I being selfish if I want her all to myself and I don't want to share her? And is it wrong for me to tell her it's a deal breaker because I don't want her to feel that she has to sacrifice her feelings or fantasies for me? I just want to be enough for her. What advice can you give me now?
Wow. Okay, first of all, yes. shout out to you for, you know, being a part of both of my YouTube channels, Easy X Natalie and Natalie Odell. This is good. If you guys haven't seen that video, you guys should definitely go check it out after you finish watching this one. It was with Krissa, Alexis, Easy, and I. We were doing a truth or drink, and we started talking about you know, all kind of stuff like being in a relationship with multiple people, which is what polygamy is, and just a lot of different interesting, juicy things. So go check that out. But anyway, girl, all right, so this is definitely interesting. First of all, no, I don't think that there's something wrong with you or it's selfish of you to want her all to yourself. Everyone has their own personal preference. It's some people's cup of tea and some people it's just not, and that's fine. That is okay. Now, on the end of your girlfriend, obviously it's something that she's into, and that is fine too. It's okay. Different things make different people tick. Let's just start there with acknowledging that both of you guys are fine for feeling the way that you do, all right? For being pro it or against it or whatever the case may be. Now, when it comes to your relationship, you said, should we go our separate ways because of it? I would say no. I personally don't think so. Obviously, it really depends on how big of a deal it is to her that is this just a fantasy that it would be like, oh, this would be cool to try one day? Or is this something that's like, no, this is the lifestyle I want to live. I want to have multiple women. I want us to all be in relationships together and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's different. That's a real lifestyle that she wants, you know, not just like a fantasy. Then based off of her answer is going to be what your next step is, because if it's not something that you can see yourself doing and this is something that she wants to pursue as a lifestyle, then obviously it's just not going to work for the two of you. And I noticed you also said that you just want to be enough for her. And I would say this, girl, don't let her desires make you feel insecure, like you're not enough. And it might not mean that you're not enough for her. Actually, I probably guarantee you that it doesn't mean that. Everyone looks at polygamy and having multiple sexual partners in a different way. I think that, first of all, as long as you're honest about it, it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, you're not doing enough for this person. It just might mean it's just a sexual preference. Like how people like different things in intimacy. Some people like to be a little more frisky and some people like to be a little more just sensual. It's something like that. It's literally just a preference. Talk to her about it. That would be my advice to you. Talk to her about it and then make your decision based off of that. But I really hope this helps. And guys, you guys sent me some great questions this time. Some of them were a little tough to answer, which is a good thing because it helps me to think. It helps me to really put myself into different shoes. I would say the one I was the most shook by, and it was the hardest for me to answer, was the one about the father dating his cousin, because that's obviously very shocking, you know, but I had to really put myself in that position to say, like, if I had a kid with this person, how would I want my kid to grow up as a person? How would I want her to view her father? Do I want them to have a relationship? You know, there's a lot that goes into it. So I just do the best that I can do based off of my life experiences. And I hope that, you know, my answers are helpful, but also I hope that you understand that these are just from my perspective and it might not be the right way. Anyway, I love you guys so much and thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.